What's going on, everyone? So, we have some images that came out that are circulating that are supposed from the upcoming Scream 7. They're not anything like spoilerish or anything like that. Like, it's not like Ghostface taking his mask off or anything crazy like that. I wouldn't share anything like that on this channel. Nothing major, nothing big, just fun little stuff, cool little things that may or may not be real, little various rumors and leaks and stuff. But 3 images that I thought were pretty cool. I don't know if these are real. I don't know how accurate they are. Could just be, especially in the world today with AI and everything like that, the way that you can kind of create things and make things. It does look like it's something that's real. But again, not sure. I don't know for certain. But I also just wanted to give everyone this kind of disclaimer before I show the images. Again, it's nothing that's gonna like ruin or spoil the movie or anything like that for you. They're basically just stills of characters. But I know some people don't want anything. I know some people don't want to see, hear, taste, smell, nothing in regards to spoilers. So I'll give you an opportunity on your way out. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you're still here, let's get into the images. So the first image is Sidney, her husband Mark, and her daughter Tatum. And again, nothing like crazy. That's not like, obviously it looks like it's something significant going on. Either Ghostface is breaking in or there somewhere, or somebody's dying or something. So you clearly can see the concerned look on all 3 of their faces. You can clearly see that like something significant is going on. But like I said, you don't get to see anything like specific. It's just these images of the 3 of them together. Like I said, you look at these images, they look pretty real. Like they look like they were, taken off of like a video monitor or something. But like I said, not everything is accurate. A lot of things can be fake. You look at the fingers, right, is usually the AI thing. And like, if you look at the fingers in this image, right, Sidney and her husband Mark are holding hands. That's why it looks like there's like 15 fingers. So, because I was trying to like look and see like, okay, could this be AI or whatnot? It's very possible, again, that it is. It's also not like the most 4K images possible. So, it's hard to tell what really is. Like I said, I saw these circulating. I don't know if they're accurate or not, but I just thought that they were cool little fun images. Sidney, her husband, her daughter, all 3 are, I imagine, going to play significant roles. Sidney's supposed to be in the film at roughly 40 minutes. Her daughter, I imagine, is going to be in it a good majority, close to that, if not, maybe a little less or a little more. Her husband, I'm curious to see how much he's actually in it. Is he somebody that is going to be majorly significant and be in the film for 30 minutes of the movie, or is he going to be somebody that's just kind of like in little spots, in the little key spots, and then maybe he just goes away and hides? Does he end up dying? Right, that's another real question with Sidney's husband. I could see him dying. I just don't know if he would die, if he'll die in this particular film. Maybe at like towards the end or at the end. But I think if he does, it'll probably be in like a Scream 8, maybe Scream 9 type thing. But they also could be kind of setting up, Tatum, Sidney's daughter, as like the new Sidney, and Sidney lost her mother. Maybe her daughter loses her father, and then you deal with the aftermath and impact of that. Something to kind of keep in mind. But next image up is what appears, it looks to me like Sidney's house. And I think it's possible that like this and that previous image I just showed could be kind of one scene, where Sidney and her family are at home, living their best life, chilling, right? Nothing crazy, and then boom, all of a sudden, you have Ghostface. We got a couple images of Sidney's house, and that's why I think that this looks like Sidney's house. Again, it's kind of grainy, and I don't know how many houses in the area or in this, the set that they're filming on, how many look the same, but this looks to be Sidney Prescott's house. So my guess is that that's what this is. And I don't believe that this is the opening scene. This is probably, closer to the beginning of the movie or midpoint of the movie. My guess as far as the timeline goes, again, I don't know, but I'm going to have the opening scene. And then I think you'll have, kind of the introduction of characters and stuff like that, little details of like, hey, Sidney and her daughter, kind of have this like spat. You kind of get a little look into Sidney's life, as, a mother, a wife, all of those things. Gale and Chad and Mindy are going to team up and do their thing, and then they're supposed to be staying with Sidney Prescott. So I imagine that like the chaos, at least on Sidney's end, maybe doesn't happen, because if Sidney and her family are attacked in her home, I don't think Gale, Chad, and Mindy are probably going to stay there or anything like that, because, if they're going to stay with Sidney, I mean, maybe they stay in a hotel, maybe they get a hotel, right? There's options, there's things that could potentially, maybe they're not in her house, but I would imagine that, if they're in town visiting Sidney, right, kind of going over the story and trying to dive into Ghostface, it would make sense that they'd all kind of huddle under one roof. But I don't think the attacks would happen until after, is probably my guess. Again, I don't know this by any stretch. I just kind of trying to piece it together. Sometimes you're accurate, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're completely off. So maybe there is an early Ghostface attack. Maybe that's part of the reason why Gale and the Meeks twins might even stay with her. It's kind of like, hey, let's numbers. Let's have numbers together. We're all kind of on alert. We're all kind of, keeping an eye out. Right? If Ghostface does break in or something, there's 10 of us to try to take Ghostface out type thing. There's success in numbers type thing. But the last image that is going around is this one. And you see Sidney and Gale. Once again, I don't know if these are real images. I just want to be very clear about that. But I think it's cool. You see Sidney and Gale standing here. Sidney, I will say Sidney's clothes in this image is right on par with rumored, like her apparel. Like there was even kind of like an image that was going around of like several outfits that Sidney's supposed to wear. And this is spot on. However, it is very possible that somebody saw that and then created these images and to make sense with that. But if I had to guess, I actually think these are real. I think that these are what they appear to be. And like I said, they're not. There's nothing crazy. It's not like you see Ghostface unmasking and it's like, it's Sidney's daughter type thing. It's clearly just little stills. The reaction one obviously looks like something crazy's here. This one looks like, maybe just a moment. Maybe they're talking to somebody. Maybe it's the Meeks twins or something, and Gale and Sidney are kind of, just having a conversation. Maybe this is when Gale arrives, right? That could be a possibility. Maybe they just got here and, Sidney out helping, or maybe she just got home and they were here and it's like, oh, hey, maybe the husband let them in and it's like, oh, Gale, Chad, Mindy, like, what are you guys doing here type thing? Regardless, I'm excited to see how this all plays out. I just wanted to kind of share these photos, share these images with you all, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? You think these are real? Do you think that they're fake? You kind of mixed in the middle. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. We enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.